Across distant lands, where snow and ice blanket the earth, where endless nights stretch on and the northern winds howl without rest, there exists a phenomenon that anyone who witnesses it even once will carry forever in their soul, the Aurora Borealis, also known as the Northern Lights. They say, if magic truly exists in this world, it is found in that moment when the Arctic sky suddenly awakens, lit with flowing ribbons of green, purple, red, and gold, dancing like a mysterious ballet of the cosmos. No one can stand beneath such a radiant sky without feeling extraordinary emotions rising within their heart. It is wonder, awe, and sometimes even a faint fear before a beauty that feels both unfamiliar and yet deeply intimate. People look up, and it is as if the very spirits of the earth and sky are stretching out their arms, dancing across the endless heavens. Thousands of years ago, long before science could explain this dazzling spectacle, the peoples who lived beneath the northern skies told each other countless tales, myths, and legends. It was these stories, together with the grandeur of nature itself, that wove the Aurora Borealis into the very soul of human culture. The mystical light in the eyes of the Inuit. In the lands of Alaska and Canada, the Inuit have lived side by side with ice and snow, enduring long, bitter nights that last for months. They have seen the aurora so often that, for them, the Aurora Borealis is not merely a natural phenomenon, but a living presence, a sign from the spirit world. In ancient Inuit legends, the northern lights are seen as the souls of ancestors returning to watch over their descendants. When the aurora flares across the sky, it is believed to be the departed smiling, dancing, or calling out to their loved ones. Thus, for them, the aurora is both a comfort and a reminder that death is not an ending, but simply a journey into another world. Some stories even tell that when the aurora shines its brightest, if one listens carefully in the stillness of the night, faint whistles or whispers can be heard, the voices of spirits in conversation. The Inuit also hold a belief that if someone waves a knife or stick toward the lights, the aurora may descend and slice off their head. For this reason, children in the villages are always warned, be good, never tease the northern lights, for they are the power of the ancestors and the gods. Other tribes imagine the aurora as a fiery ball being tossed back and forth, an eternal game played by the spirits in the boundless sky. In this vision, the heavens are no longer a distant void, but a playground alive with energy and mystery. Aurora in Norse mythology. If the Inuit saw the aurora as the spirits of their ancestors, then in northern Europe, where Viking warriors once roamed, the Aurora Borealis was tied to battles, blood, and glory. The Vikings believed that the northern lights were the shields of the Valkyries, the warrior maidens riding across the sky to choose the souls of fallen heroes. When the luminous bands lit up the heavens, they were thought to be the reflection of the Valkyries' armor and weapons as they escorted brave warriors to Valhalla, the magnificent hall where Odin awaited them. That image was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Inspiring, because it evoked the longing to be honored in battle, to be chosen by the Valkyries, and to forever become part of the divine realm. Terrifying, because it also served as a reminder that death was always near, and the shimmering lights above might herald an imminent sacrifice. The ancient Scandinavians also held another belief, that the aurora was the fire created by enormous Arctic foxes. As these creatures ran across the snow, their sweeping tails brushed the skies, sparking radiant streaks of light. Even today, the Finnish word revanchulet, meaning foxfire, remains as a poetic testament to this enduring legend. Guiding lights in Siberia and Lapland. Farther east, across the vast frozen lands of Siberia, where snow lingers year-round and the skies never lose their chill, the indigenous peoples also wove tales of the aurora, stories at once mystical and chilling. The Chukchi believed that the aurora represented the souls of those who had died tragically, by drowning, or in the fury of battle. Unable to find rest, these spirits wandered endlessly, their footsteps painted in the northern sky. When the aurora appeared, villagers would light fires and offer prayers, hoping to ward off the restless dead. Meanwhile, in Lapland, homeland of the Sami people, the northern lights held sacred significance. To them, the Aurora Borealis was the power of the gods themselves, a sign of both warning and protection. The Sami maintained a tradition of never mocking the aurora, for they believed such disrespect would anger the deities, bringing disastrous consequences. Aurora through the eyes of North American tribes. Not only in Europe or Asia, but also among the Native American tribes of North America, countless myths were born around this wondrous spectacle. The Cree believed that the northern lights were a circle of fire, lit to guide the souls of the newly departed toward a land of peace. Meanwhile, the Menominee of the Great Lakes region thought the aurora was the glow of mighty warriors and shamans who continued to watch over and protect their people even after death. Some other tribes imagined the aurora as the campfires of spirits gathering together to tell stories, sing songs, and dance. It is a beautiful vision. In the endless darkness, the light not only drives away the cold, but also evokes warmth, kinship, and reunion, treasures beyond measure for communities surviving in harsh lands. The light of faith and fear. Whether in the legends of the Inuit, the Vikings, the Sami, or the Native American tribes, the Aurora Borealis is always entwined with two great themes, the soul and divine power. People saw in it both protection and comfort, yet also threat and warning. It could be the greeting of ancestors, or the omen of war and death. Perhaps it is precisely this duality that has made the aurora an inseparable part of the human spirit. It has become an inseparable part of spirituality and belief. Since the dawn of humankind, people have always sought to explain what they could not understand, and when faced with something so breathtaking yet mysterious, they could only name it through the language of mythology. Today, even though science has found the answer, that the aurora is the result of the interaction between the solar wind and the Earth's magnetic field, those ancient tales still echo, for they are the soul of human memory. Without those stories, the Aurora Borealis would be nothing more than a physical phenomenon, beautiful, but cold. Yet thanks to myth, it has become a symbol of faith, a bridge between humanity and the cosmos. If the first part of the story of the Aurora Borealis is bound to myths, legends, and spiritual beliefs of northern peoples, then the next chapter opens another journey, the journey of humankind, driven by curiosity and the thirst for knowledge, striving to understand, to explain, and finally to touch the secrets hidden behind the celestial dance of light. From a mythical symbol, the aurora stepped into the realm of science and civilization. And yet, the miracle is this: even when we know the physical mechanism behind it, the beauty of the aurora never loses its mystery. On the contrary, it makes us realize even more the grandeur of the universe and the fragility of our own existence. Science and the secrets of the sky's light. Questions about the aurora were raised hundreds of years ago. European explorers venturing into the polar regions during the 15th and 16th centuries recorded in their journals descriptions of ribbons of fire in the sky, a moving curtain of light. They tried to explain it, but failed. It was not until the 19th century, when the sciences of magnetism and astronomy developed, that humans began to uncover the true nature of the phenomenon. In reality, the Aurora Borealis is the result of the solar wind, streams of charged particles emitted by the sun, traveling through space at millions of kilometers per hour. As the Earth orbits, the planet's magnetic field acts like a massive shield, blocking most of these particles. However, at the magnetic poles, north and south, this shield is weaker, and some charged particles penetrate, colliding with the molecules of our atmosphere. It is this collision that creates the light. Much like the discharge in a fluorescent tube, the atmospheric gases are excited and then release photons in different colors. Oxygen, at altitudes of 100 to 300 kilometers, produces green or deep red hues. Nitrogen produces purple, pink, or blue light. The mix of gases and varying altitudes paints a living, shifting canvas across the sky. In the simplest terms, the aurora is the dance of the sun's particles upon the Earth's sky. And for this reason, it is not only a spectacle of beauty, but also proof of the profound connection between our planet and its parent star. Explorers in search of the lights. In the 19th and 20th centuries, as geography and astronomy. As the age of scientific exploration flourished, the aurora became the subject of fascination for many researchers. Observatories were built in Norway, Iceland, and Canada to monitor its appearances and to study its connection with solar activity. Among the pioneers was the Norwegian physicist Christian Birkeland, who was the first to propose the theory that the aurora was formed by streams of charged particles from the sun interacting with the Earth's magnetic field. At the time, his hypothesis could not be proven, but later, space satellites confirmed it beyond doubt. Expeditions into the Arctic were also closely intertwined with the aurora. During the endless months of polar night, explorers, sailors, and seal hunters alike carried the northern lights as part of their memory of hardship and endurance. For many, it was a source of encouragement, a reminder that in the midst of the most unforgiving harshness, there was still a beauty beyond measure waiting for them to look up and behold. Aurora Borealis in modern culture. Today, the aurora is no longer a terrifying mystery, but it has become one of the most iconic cultural and touristic symbols of the Arctic. Each year, millions of travelers from around the world journey to Norway, Iceland, Finland, Canada, and Alaska for the chance to witness the spectacle. Towns like Tromsø in Norway, Rovaniemi in Finland, and Yellowknife in Canada have become aurora sanctuaries, offering guided tours and even building glass-roofed hotels so visitors can lie in bed while gazing at the sky's radiant dance. Countless people describe their first encounter with the aurora as a prayer of the universe, an experience so moving that it brings them to tears. For others, it is a sacred pilgrimage, not to a temple or shrine, but to the heavens themselves. The Northern Lights have also become an endless source of inspiration in the arts, in music, painting, literature, and cinema. Many works use the Aurora Borealis as a symbol of mystery, romance, or as a metaphor for hope shining through the darkness. Aurora Australis, the southern sister. Few know that in addition to the Aurora Borealis in the northern hemisphere, the Earth also has its counterpart in the south, the Aurora Australis. At the South Pole, where the ice is even harsher and more unforgiving than the north, the aurora also blazes across the sky with an equally wondrous beauty. Though fewer people have the chance to witness the Aurora Australis firsthand, since Antarctica has no permanent inhabitants, researchers and explorers have recorded that this phenomenon is just as vivid and powerful as its northern sister. This duality reveals a beautiful truth: at both ends of the earth, nature has bestowed humanity with the same gift of light. As though the universe itself seeks balance, ensuring that every corner of darkness may, at times, be illuminated by a miracle. The symbolic meaning of the aurora. Whether seen through the lens of mythology or through the eyes of science, the aurora carries a profound significance for humankind. It stands as a symbol of connection. Connections across existence. A connection between heaven and earth, when sunlight touches the atmosphere of our planet. A connection between past and present, when ancient myths still live alongside modern scientific discoveries. A connection between humankind and the cosmos, when we realize our tiny planet is not separate, but part of the great current of universal energy. The aurora also reminds us of Earth's fragility. Without the shield of the magnetic field, streams of solar particles could wipe out life. Yet instead of bringing catastrophe, they transform into a magnificent light show, a reminder that danger and beauty can coexist, and that life itself endures within a delicate balance. The eternal dance. Perhaps what makes the Aurora Borealis immortal in human imagination is the harmony it creates between science and mythology, between reason and emotion. When we gaze at the northern lights, we witness both a physical phenomenon and a spiritual miracle. The Viking warriors once believed it was the shining armor of the Valkyries. The Inuit believed it to be the souls of their ancestors. And we, the people of the 21st century, understand it as solar particles colliding with the atmosphere. Yet above all, across cultures and centuries, we share the same feeling, the profound smallness of our being before the infinite vastness. Aurora Borealis is more than a natural phenomenon, it is a mirror of the human soul. It reflects the fears we once carried, the reverence we once offered, the endless desire to explain, and, in the end, the quiet bow of awe. In the northern skies, the ribbons of green and violet still twist and flow, an endless dance that never ceases. And no matter how far humanity may advance, no matter how far technology may reach into the stars, the Aurora Borealis will remain a reminder. We, with all our knowledge and ambition, are still wanderers looking up at the sky, searching for meaning in its wondrous light. Aurora Borealis, the northern lights, is proof that the universe always finds a way to illuminate the darkness. It is nature's gift to humankind, teaching us that even in the coldest, harshest places, beauty of the most radiant kind can still flourish, beyond the reach of full comprehension. And perhaps only when we stand beneath the northern sky, bathed in that endless dance of light, will we truly understand, this world still holds countless miracles that the human mind will never completely grasp.